But I am annoying positive because I know what it's like when you're grinding and nothing's coming from it, right? And then you're like, oh God, this is horrible. I want to get out of this industry. This isn't for me. And the truth is, your heart has to be in it.
100%.
So if you love mortgages and you love helping people financially, then this is for you.
Hit it. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait.
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
All right, this is Real Talk with Carmen Costa. Today, I decided to bring the one and only, thank God we only have one Adam. Adam, yeah. He's new to our group. Jamie, you so confuse me because you're always touching that thing. Am I too loud? Like, I feel like I'm too loud. I'm going to use my inner voice this time. Anyways, I brought Adam on just to discuss, you were in a different field, completely different field. And I literally want to know why the change. Why did you want to get into the mortgage industry? What were your thoughts around that? And why did you pick to join my group?
So I guess I'll start off with why the change. To be honest with you, where I was before was more trade oriented. And the problem with that is, I relied on everybody else in terms of getting my licenses, my CFQs. It was all, okay, well, if I put in the work, someone's going to sign me up. They're going to take my hours, but it just continually never happened. So I got tired of relying on other people to do that for me. So I decided if I get into this industry, then it's all on me. Nobody else is going to decide whether I do well or I don't. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to get into the brokering side of things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're now, 3 months in?
Yep, I
3
believe
months
it's about
in.
3 months.
Okay, and so how is the difference from your everyday life to joining my group? Like, what has changed?
What has changed? I would definitely say just from being around you, obviously, and just the office and everything is very positive, and it helps me to stay positive and on track. I just see how successful you obviously are, the people that are around me, and it just kind of brings me up and makes me want to be as successful. So I think that's a big thing, is having the confidence to do that and just going out there and giving everything I got every day. And it's helped so far.
It has. So there's a reason why I brought you on. I thought, I want to get the perspective of somebody coming completely off the field, like not even in financial industry. You're a tradesman, and then you're coming into the mortgage side of things. And I remember when you reached out to me, you're like, hey. He was like, we in passing, I think we met once or twice,
Yep.
and you followed me. But it was interesting because you reached out and you're like, hey, I want to be a mortgage broker. And I'm like, doesn't this guy like flip houses? I'm confused, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you were like, I'm going to give it my all, right? Mm-hmm. And I always say with determination, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is. I believe that with determination, with desire, with passion, you will achieve what you want, right? So first time you come in, we meet, you sign your contract, you get on board, and I'm like, all right, let's do vision boards, right? And you're like, vision boards? What are vision boards, right? But you start to understand as you put these things in place, you do your meditation, you do all of that, you start to head towards the right direction, right? And so here's my question to you, Adam. Do you feel that it's changed you as an individual, not just in the mortgage industry, not just, we're 3 months in, we're going to hit 4 in January. How has it changed you as a person?
To be completely honest, once again, this kind of goes back to just being positive. And another weird thing about this industry as well is I find it's not like other industries where, you put in the work and you see the benefits right away. It's more or less you put in the work, and it's about consistency because I've been putting in work and I haven't really seen the huge impact that I would have hoped, but I know that if I continue to do this, one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be there. And I guess the biggest thing is just consistency and forcing myself to pivot in directions that, if, for instance, like I said, it doesn't work out right away. Well, then I pivot, I make another move, and I try to get things going. And I guess it's just taught me consistency and how to pivot and adapt. And I feel like that applies to every aspect of my life now is, I can pivot, I can adapt, and I'm always positive and focused. And that's kind of how I feel it has changed me this far. Obviously, there's more growth to be said and to do, but so far, so good. That's kind of where I'm at. That's
awesome. And consistency is huge. Like even now I find with myself, let's get on that topic with consistency. Consistency is so hard sometimes when you don't like you hear the terminology, you reap what you sow, right? But sometimes when you're grinding and you're grinding and you're grinding, like I was going through something where 3 weeks I was following up, nothing. And like you even saw, I was getting so stressed out. Yeah. It was bad, right? So I'm like stressed out. But then when it happened, I was like, maybe this was my life lesson to learn that, you know what, maybe be patient. Maybe we do need to be patient on what we do, but we also do have to be consistent. Right? If we don't continue to do the right activities and we give up 3 months in and say, you know what, I'm not getting anything, I'm done. That's where, it's sad because a lot of people in this industry, that's what happens is you're so like at it, like right in the beginning, you're like, I'm going to kill it. Day one, you sit down, you start, and I see it all the time. They come in, they're like, I'm going to train, I'm going to learn, whatever you do, I'm going to do. And it's like, it's a lot of work. This doesn't come easily, right? I remember being at my desk, almost 20 years ago, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm not seeing anything for 7 months. I didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, once it hit, right?
Bang.
It was like gold mine, right? Because I planted the seeds that needed to be planted. And I was consistent with the work that I did, right? So, I know it's hard right now and you're like, okay, I'm month 3, this is crazy, but you do have to understand that, the environment you're in does help you, right? And I always say this, like my last podcast, people actually message me. They're like, you're annoying positive. I am annoying positive. I am annoying. I could be going through a lot of stuff, but I am annoying positive because I know what it's like when you're grinding and nothing's coming from it, right? And then you're like, oh God, this is horrible. I want to get out of this industry. This isn't for me. And the truth is, your heart has to be in it.
100%, yeah.
So if you love mortgages and you love helping people financially, then this is for you. It's not about, well, I'm going to be passionate about that industry and it's going to happen, right? Because I'll be honest with you, the only thing that drives me, and I remember, I'm not even going to lie, I'm going to truth bomb here. A week ago, I was driving home. I called Surveying and I said, I think I'm just going to give up. Like, I'm just going to go back to just being a mortgage agent, like a mortgage broker, and that's it. And he's like, he's giving me the pep talk, but then, I needed to sleep it off. I did. And I came right back and I'm like, wait, regroup. Why am I in this industry? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because I love the agents and I really care about all of your well-being. I care about, you guys succeeding and taking care of your well-being and your mental health. This isn't all about mortgages. No. Everybody assumes, well, it's all about mortgages. There's a lot that's a part of, everyday life. Everybody goes out and gets a mortgage, right? You know what I mean? We get that. And at that integrated part, they need that mortgage. They need it. But when you connect with an individual and it becomes an actual people business and you connect with people, that person's going to continuously come back to you regardless, because you didn't just assist them on mortgages, you assisted them on everyday life, right?
Yep.
So, and I've taught you that. And I've heard you talk to clients and you've applied it, right?
Yeah.
So do you see the difference from when you were a tradesman to now?
Oh, a big difference. The biggest thing I guess I could say is when we talk about the business being a business of people is just like, I know I talk about this a lot. I've said this to you, say this all the time as well. But, you really have to act with your best interest. Well, everybody's best interest. Show people love, help them out when you can. And, that kind of just strengthens your network. When your network's strong, I feel that, they come back and things come back to you. You put it out there, you do well by people, and it eventually comes back to you in a way that's positive for your business. I mean, like she was saying, it's a people business. So the more connections you make, the stronger your network becomes, the more business you're going to drive. It's just kind of how it goes.
I know, but you see it though, because I hear you on the phone and I'm impressed. That's why I brought you on, because I'm like, you're one of the guys that came on and you just like, I want to learn it all. Tell me everything. And you started to apply it. And I'm like, oh, I love that conversation you're having. I love what you're saying to that client because you're not driven by the transaction. You know, you're driven by the compassion for that client, right?
Yep.
You're like, I'm compassionate about that client. I want the best for that client. And money will come,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
The money comes after, right? And I guess people lose sight of that because we're in a society where we're suppressed and we're constantly, you know, what's in it for me,
Yeah.
right? What's
Yeah.
in it for me, Adam? You know, like go out, get the, like, I'm more like, are my agents mentally okay? Are they okay, you know, even as individuals, not because to run the business, but we're in a society where right now everything is suppressed that you want to make sure and you want to check on everybody and make sure they're okay, right? And you want to like, you know, provide them the compassion and love and the empathy that you have and wrap them up around that, right? Because that is the individual that will spread that wealth of compassion, empathy, and love to the client, right?
Yep.
And that's what we want right here. You know, when I thought about the vision, I'm like, what am I looking for? Right? I'm looking for individuals that care about their client. Right. So Adam, I brought you on. I know you were like, what are we talking about? I have
I had no idea.
Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? But I do want to say, Adam, like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate
know,
that.
I'm impressed with, you know, how you're handling the business. I know it gets frustrating. I see you come in, day out, and you're like, you know, you were banished for a bit because he had a cold. We had to banish him. So you're not allowed to be in the office, but you got time to spend with your kids.
Hey, you know
right?
what? That was amazing for me. And it was hard because, you know, even though this business is about people, I felt I got consumed by it and I had to bring myself back to just being present. And those days that I was sick, it was amazing. I reconnected with my kids. We had a great time. And now it's like, as sad as it sounds, I leave it as, Daddy, where are you going?
It's hard.
But, you know, I got that time to reconnect. So I can't even say it was a bad thing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he was. It's not a bad banish. We just try to make sure that let's put content to that, right? I don't want to be like we banished him. Son of a, no, I'm kidding. But when you're sick, you're not allowed to come into the office for at least 10 to 14 days. We're gonna get these what is it? The self test? What are they called?
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Like I'm trying to act like I know. I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, but it's more about it's and this is what I mean about caring about other people. You acknowledge you're sick, and I think honestly, here's the thing that I'm going to drop with you, Adam. Like you were so wrapped up in like the first 2 months, 3 months, you were so consumed that maybe you wrote it on Facebook, right? I'm going to put this out there. You wrote it. You're like, I need to learn how to turn off.
And I
work,
struggle with it. I
right?
do.
So sometimes the universe, right? You know, sometimes the universe gives it to you in a form that maybe you're like, why am I sick? Why am I getting... Maybe that was for you to reconnect and understand when to turn things off, right?
100%.
And I'll be honest, I love that the agents come in, but I do love to see when, you know, your kids are excited, you're connecting with your kids, your wife, which I love your wife, but right now not so much because I'm training with her, so.
Still sore.
Still a very sore topic. We will talk about her next time, but yeah, so tell me a little bit about, you know, your wife. Let's drop Tasha in this. We'll connect her in. I'm gonna put a connection because she has done a lot for me. So I'm gonna turn this like I don't mean to take the attention away from you.
No.
Let's plug in Tash.
Yep.
So I reached out to Tash. I was so consumed. We talk about consumption with work. I was so consumed with having to get certain things done. Right. I can't release a lot of information now. January, a lot's to come. New announcements. All of that will happen. It's not time now, but I was so consumed and stressed that I resorted back to chest pains, anxiety, all that stuff. So Adam comes into the office and his wife is a personal trainer. We'll drop her, put her thing, not drop her, but we'll drop her name. I'm not dropping you, Tash. Anyways, so she, you know, connects with me, but Tash is really good because Tash has the ability, she knows my personality and she knows I'm competitive. So I'm like, she's like, well, you can do this because this is what the norm does, or you can do the extreme. And I'm like, obviously I'm going to do the extreme. So anyways, Tash has really helped me reconnect with my health and with the training, with everything. And miraculously, what I've been preaching, I did not, you know, apply in my life. Miraculously, my chest pains went away.
Woo.
So I don't have chest pains. I'm thriving. But you said something on the phone to me. You were like, you educated me. You were like, well, Carm, your mind's not obsessed over these topics. You're in pain. So I'm walking up the stairs. I'm like, ow, ow, right? So I'm walking down the stairs, trying to go to the bathroom. It's so sore. But she got me not thinking about, so all I'm saying to you, regardless, and this is me talking, always preaching, right? Always preaching, real talk. Was I applying it? I wasn't. You saw for the last 4 weeks, I was so full of anxiety, like, oh my God, it's not happening. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. And you, as a new person coming in, you, in my experience, you educated me and said, well, Carm, now think about it. You are like, you're consumed with trying to, and it's not about getting fit. It's more about health. It's like, I'm getting older. I want to stay consistent with my working out.
Yeah.
Stop saying I'm getting older. Jamie has this thing of, now he's going to put an old lady. Don't do that
Please
to me.
do it.
He is going to do it. But anyways, I wanted to say, Tash, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Rock star.
I do curse you every morning, but it's not a bad thing. I say a prayer after and apologize. You were laughing the last time about this. But I do want to say, it's awesome to have Tash in your corner as well, right?
Amazing,
so
yes.
It's always good to have that supportive spouse. Tash is amazing, like a mother of twin boys,
Kills it.
entrepreneur, just phenomenal. I applaud you 100% on everything you're doing and supporting your husband, right? So it's amazing. I do believe wholeheartedly that, I hope by next week I'm going to be fine. So with this pain is so bad. But anyways, thank you. So we'll plug her in. Adam, before we sign off, any words of wisdom you want to give to anybody that is entering into this industry?
As I mentioned before, I would just say, consistency is key, because in this industry, you can't be looking at things in the short game. You have to look long game. And if you're not consistent, you don't see results right away, keep going. Make a pivot, make a move so that, you're coming at it from a different angle, because you're going to have to throughout this whole time, and things aren't going to happen overnight. Another thing that I'm going to say is, if you're going to come into this industry, be 100% in. And I love this quote. I actually said it to the other day. I can't quote unquote the exact words, but it talks about the Romans and when they sailed across. Basically what they said is, as soon as they arrived, they burnt their ships, and they burnt them because there's no plan B. You make your plan work at all costs, and that's just what you do. There's no going back at that point. So jump in fully, commit yourself to it, and just do it. No plan B, one way, that's it.
That's awesome. That was actually great advice. I can't even like better that. So we're going to sign off. Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Tash,
having
thank
me.
you so much. If you have a comment, you want to like this post or share it, please do so. You know what, Jamie, you make me self-conscious. So like, share, if you think this applies to somebody, share it to that person. Jamie's supposed to do this. He doesn't have my back. I just want everybody to know. But anyways, like, share, subscribe. And other than that, you're going to say something. All right. So thank you so much for listening. I totally appreciate it. Have an awesome day. Honestly, Jamie? Honestly. Blinded by the light. You left me hanging, bro. He had a shot. That's why. He else gave him a shot. You didn't even have your mic on. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Whoa. What?
Okay, now.
Are you ready?